Welcome to Relentless Podcast, where we take entrepreneurs and winners in our area and bring them on and talk live about what we do every single day as business owners. It's not easy being a business owner. We go through a lot of issues every day. We got a lot of challenges every day, and we're going to talk a little bit about having a business, having employees, building those systems, building those processes, where we start and when we're ending up. So, again, a Relentless Podcast. We have PJ Dioria from Dioria and Sons. He has an HVAC and plumbing company. He's local in the area. Definitely gives back to the community. PJ, thank you for coming on today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Sam.
So PJ, tell me how you got into this. I knew you were a big pizza maker in the past. Is that right?
Nah. Uh my I call him my uncle. He's not really my uncle, but my uncle Justin had been doing HVAC forever. So I started helping him when I was about 12. I'd help him in the summertime during the summer doing HVAC. Then as I got older, I did landscaping, but I always went back to HVAC in the winter. And then I think when I was like 20, I was like, I sold the landscaping company and I was like, I'm just doing HVAC full time. So I've been at it ever since.
That's great. So landscape, I mean, obviously entrepreneur,
Yeah.
landscape business. What did you like about the landscape business? What didn't you like? What level did you get to that landscape business, and what made you decide to sell?
Um, I had like 150 to 175 accounts. Just very, very, all businesses competitive, but being a landscaper is even worse because anybody can grab a truck and a mower and a trailer and go start a company, and that's great, but it makes the margins really really small. So trying to scale a company, it's hard. You got to go into more like hardscaping and the larger landscaping projects, which I really didn't want to.
Oh
That
yeah,
really wasn't my thing.
absolutely.
So I grew it to a decent size and I ended up selling it.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. So now the HVAC, obviously you had experience now with business, with
Yeah.
running the business, marketing, sales. Did you wear all the hats? When you started HVAC, did you actually do the
Everything.
work?
I did
So
everything.
you know how to do the work, and you kind of built
Everything.
yourself up from the ground up, which
I,
is which
I
is great.
I can do every aspect of my company of HVAC, from doing the work to the office. I can do it all because I started by myself. Now I brought in other people that have helped tremendously, like grow, like especially the office part. My sister-in-law Gabby, she helped me grow that tremendously.
Oh yeah.
I just kind of like threw a computer at her one day and a phone and was like, hey, I'm too big. I can't take the phone calls and do scheduling anymore. You figure it out.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I got to tell you too. So Gabby's labeled in my phone. Gabby, smartest person at Dioria. I literally have her in my phone saved as that. Yeah, Gabby, smartest one there. Whenever I need something done, because PJ, like myself, we're entrepreneurs. We got a million things going on. You call PJ, yeah, I'll get it. All of a sudden, he just forgets because we got so much
Yeah,
going on.
yeah,
But you call Gabby, she's on it. She's there for you guys. She got your back.
yeah,
It's really good to be able to level up and have people like that around you because,
yeah.
again, that's going to 10x your
No,
company.
I trust her with that, with everything.
Yeah,
So
that's
we
great.
have we have a good relationship. Like when it comes to business,
Sure.
she kind of yells at me nowadays.
That's good. That's what you need.
Yeah,
Sometimes you need a swift kick in the ass,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
But so I call that the replacement ladder, and the first one to replace, is that the admin part.
yeah,
And then from there, sales. I mean, you're doing the sales, right?
yeah.
You're actually handling the sales.
I do all of the sales. Now I have guys like, if I'm too busy and there's an estimate that comes in, hey, have this guy stop here real quick and just speak with the customer, get the details of the job, because in my industry, I'm not selling a kitchen or a bathroom. Like you got to go through a million things. Mine's easier. Hey, what size is the unit? You know, what efficiency do they want to go with?
Sure.
you know, what's the details of the install? So I can send somebody, that like a service guy or even one of the install crews, have them stop there, speak with the customer briefly, get me all the details, and then I can take it from there. I like to be there so I can speak with them one on one,
Oh yeah.
but I don't really do like I'm not high pressure sales where some of these larger companies, they come in, they send their sales guy with their laptop and they're there for 2 3 hours. They want you to sign right then and there.
Sure.
That's not how I do things.
Right.
I want you to be comfortable with me. I'm a blue collar guy, started this from nothing. I come into your house, I give you the options. Hey, if you want to spend 15, 16, 17,000 on the super high efficiency system, no problem. I'll do that for you. But this is where we can start at. You only need this. This is the basics, and we can take it from there.
Sure.
And
Absolutely.
that's how I've grown, and that's how I like to do it.
Oh yeah. So I feel like you run really lean. So your profit margin doesn't, your cost doesn't have to be all that high to the customer, which
Yeah.
is great because you're able to do certain things like that. I feel
So
like you're very competitive in the market, and you're the best. I call it the best value all the way around in
yeah,
our
so I,
area.
I I try to stay real competitive, and yes, you're right. I'm able to do that because I don't have three salesmen and three managers, and but at the same time, there are downfalls to that as well, which we can get into another time. But yeah, the short end of it is I still have tremendous overhead. We have a shop. I have brand new trucks. I have 20 some employees, full time office staff. So my overhead is still tremendous. It's not what, some of these super large companies that have five managers and
Sure.
20 sales guys, but
Oh yeah.
my overhead's still tremendous. But my whole thing is, I like to look out for the customer. It's hard enough for most people to get by and then trying to afford a basic system that costs 7,500 or
Absolutely.
8,500 is enough for them. I don't want to sit there and have Miss Jones crying and spending $250 a month for 15 years because I wanted to take advantage of somebody. I
Absolutely.
don't want to do that.
Yeah. No, that's great. I love that whole model.
Yeah.
Now for marketing, what do you do for marketing? You have a marketing
Yeah.
manager, or is that something you do
No,
yourself?
I handle the marketing. I kind of figured out what worked and what didn't early on. I do a lot of uh, direct to consumer pricing and things like that.
Yep.
But I have a great SEO guy, and I feel like that's really helped my business tremendously. The online presence is huge nowadays. There's really no more phone book. It's, hey, my AC broke. Let me hop on
Sure.
Google. Same with you, like kitchen remodel.
Sure.
And then they start reading reviews, who's the best around, et
Oh yeah.
cetera, et cetera.
Oh yeah. So I can tell you, like, with a kitchen and bathroom, that's not a necessity.
Yeah,
But your heat goes out, or your air goes out.
yeah.
People want it right
You
away.
don't have a choice.
So that's something where I really feel even in a down economy, people have to have their heat. So it's very good in that industry
Yeah,
to be able to perform and do what you do. Come right out, give a great service. If there's an issue, deal with the issue right away,
yeah,
or down to repair. I feel like that's huge in your industry, and that's something that's going to bring you up. I feel like eventually, at a certain point, you probably are going to want to, step away from the sales or the marketing,
yeah, yeah,
one or the other, or maybe both, and kind of work on that business so that you can kind of sit back and relax. Because again, you've worked all these years,
yeah.
built this thing up to a certain level, and I know, yesterday. I mean, you're working
I
today.
just came
Yesterday, you
right
met
from
me
one
at a
job.
high end customer's house, dealing with another contractor that I had to throw off the job, and
Yeah,
dealing with all that BS of ego. I mean, people let their ego, that contractor let the ego get ahead of them. Say he's the fastest contractor, started a job in February, supposed to be done in May, and here we are in August, and I had to tell him, yo, you got to go, man.
yeah,
You're way too slow, and it's not my job or position, but again, I'm going to argue with the guy because the billing is just not right,
yeah,
and it's not mine to argue, but I feel like my customers become me. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
I want to protect them,
yeah,
especially from people like that, and again, it's just like one of those things you got to deal with as a business owner. You got to say, okay, this is what I should be doing. But
yeah.
again, you have your feelings, and you really care. And when you care, you're going to get involved. And that's what happened there
That, that
yesterday.
that's the problem. Yeah, like you care, and that's why me and you get along. We kind
Hmm.
of You have a lot more systems in place and people, but that's why like we get along because I'm hands on. There's a problem. I hop on the phone with the customer. Hey, Mrs. So
Oh,
and so.
you never
You
put
know,
this aside.
yeah, never.
Even when they're wrong, you're still
Yeah,
trying to
and
appease them.
it don't matter what day it is.
Oh yeah,
Saturday, Sunday. If I'm
absolutely.
on vacation, I'm answering the phone if there's a problem.
Definitely, definitely. So now the delivery, your installers. I mean, how did you build that end of it? Because I feel like that for new contractors, a one-off.
Hmm.
Everyone tells me, "Hey, man, how do I hire more qualified people? Where do you get more qualified people? What do you do to maintain these guys? What is it? What's the secret sauce here?"
My best my I have a lot of good guys now. I'm very fortunate in that way. It took a lot of time, and I've hired and fired a lot of people. Um, one of my main guys, Alex, he's been with me for forever. Um, Probably since like I don't know, maybe my second year in business, and grew him from within. He knew nothing, and he worked with this guy Joe, and he picked up he like learned fast, really fast. Within I'd say a year, he was running an install crew. Um, so I honestly like the best bet is trying to grow them from within, and that's hard when you're first starting out because you need guys that can like do it now.
Right.
But the best guys are employed, and the best guys that have morals and have standards, they're not just jumping ship because you offer them $2, $3 more. There's a relationship there. It's,
Absolutely.
hey, I'm happy where I'm at. It's, the guy I work for is a good guy, he takes care of me, and things like that. So, and then I had my brother who's in the industry as well. He came over later on. Um, so I got lucky in that aspect, and it was hard for him to leave where he was at. He didn't really want to, but that he worked for a guy who really helped me out a lot in life, and he was a mentor of mine in the HVAC industry. But my brother and him ended up having a falling out, and he came over and worked with me, and then we hired a couple other guys. So it just kind of grew, just hiring and firing, and but there's really no method to that madness. It's somebody says they can do it, hire them, see if they can do it. If they can't, yo, you got to go.
Right.
Or, hey, there's some potential here. You're
Right.
not worth what you wanted, but I
Sure.
can build you up. Do you want to stay for this and do this?
Oh yeah.
And that, but it's really you got to hire and fire, hire and fire. There's
How
no
long
other
do you
way.
give a person? Say, hey, I can do HVAC. Comes on with you.
If somebody's like, "Hey, Paul, I can I'm a lead installer. I can do it." All right. Come on. I'll put you in a truck. I'll have one of my guys go with you, and I know that day. If you're a lead installer
Yeah.
and I send you to an install, I know that day if you're full of shit. I
Right.
don't know if I can
Yeah,
cut
you're
it,
good.
but
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
know if you're blowing smoke
Uh huh.
or if you're the real deal.
Got it.
And I can say, "All right, you know what? You know what you're doing? I'll give you what you want."
Yeah.
I'll say, "Hey man, I see you got potential here. You're not really doing what you said you can do. You want to stay? I'll give you this."
Sure. Oh
And then
yeah.
you get once in a while somebody that's like, "Yeah, I can do it." They come and you're like, "Holy shit, this motherfucker's a rock star."
Oh yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. You never know until
But
you get out there.
that's hard.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
uh,
Yeah, it's kind of like you almost got to see them, put them through testing,
yeah, you
and
do.
give them a shot like a tryout
Yeah,
almost. Where again, especially when you're trying to do volume
yeah.
hiring, I feel like they really need to put something in place like that. Now, as far as growing your business, what are some issues that maybe you came across or things that have happened in the past, and what's the best way of dealing with those?
Employees, it's that's a big one. You need the employees. You need the right guys because if you try to grow too fast and you're fucking the work up, the quality ain't there. You're losing clients.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Um, you gotta answer the phone. You gotta do what you say you're gonna do when you're gonna do it.
Right.
If you fuck up, you gotta own it. You
Yeah.
gotta tell the customer, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I make it right.
Yep.
Nobody's perfect.
No.
I fucked a job up where
Yeah.
a customer called me, Paul, this ain't right, man. Hey, listen, I'm really sorry, but you know what? I'm gonna be right there and I'm gonna take care of it.
Yeah.
And that's the best I can do. And then
Absolutely.
they might be mad at that moment, but you get there and then they're like,
That's it.
hey,
As long as you
you did
come
what you did,
through and you yeah.
but growing it, I feel like it just takes time. It takes time to grow a company. You got to
Sure.
put out a good product and you got to be consistent. If you think it's going to happen overnight, you're sadly mistaken.
Sure.
You might be busy this month and you're going to be dead slow next month. It
Right.
takes a long time to build that customer base,
Yeah.
and then you lose some customers, your overhead goes up, your prices go up. Maybe you can't be as competitive anymore and some people want to go with the cheapest option. That was a real hard pill for me to swallow.
That was hard for me too.
Like when I lost clients because like I couldn't do it for that same price anymore,
Sure.
it bothered me. I'm like, fuck, am I doing something wrong? You know
Right.
what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
because I don't want to ever lose a client.
Right. Absolutely.
So it's like you got to kind of find that happy median, and you know, just takes time,
Yeah,
man.
I can tell you with me, I was doing the work myself, so I would charge next to nothing because I was
Me
doing it
too.
as a hobby trying to learn it.
Yeah.
And then once I had a company, I had cars, I had overhead. I
Yeah,
realized if I don't charge the right amount,
can't
that I
grow.
will be out of business. I won't be able to afford, really good quality guys. I'll have to get, the bozos that do bozo work.
Yeah,
So, again, do you want the bozos or do you want the top quality?
yeah,
And then once you realize, hey, having those top quality is going to alleviate the headache, it's also going to push away the customers that you really didn't need anyway.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
And then you start to see who you really want and who really wants you.
You know what I also found? People come back.
Yeah.
And I always thought, like, they ain't coming back.
Yeah.
People come back.
Oh, yeah.
Because they'll hire Chuck in the truck. He might do good on one job, two jobs. Now all of a sudden they're giving him 4 or 5 jobs. He can't keep up. He's fucking up.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
He blew the money. He needs more money. He's hitting them with change orders, and all of a sudden I'm the best thing walking again.
Absolutely.
Hey Paul, can you look at this job, man? This guy fucked it up. And I don't sit there with you. I just go, yeah, no problem, man. I'll take care of it for
Uh-huh.
you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it is what it is. Or sometimes you're just too busy, can't get to something. And then they give it to somebody else, but then they're like, hey, you know what? I'll just wait the 2 weeks next time, man. I
Yeah.
don't fucking feel like dealing with this shit.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I feel like consistent quality service
Yeah,
is going to build your business up over
yeah,
time. The other thing is this: there's two ways to scale. What you're doing, you're building a brand. People know you.
yeah,
The other way is do heavy, heavy marketing.
yeah.
I call them one-hit companies, where they'll build it up, but if they stop marketing tomorrow,
They're done.
they're done. They're toast. And there'll be months where they lose thousands and thousands of dollars. There'll be months when they make thousands and thousands of dollars, but at the end of the day, their profit margin is way lower,
Yeah,
but their actual price to do the job is way higher than yours.
crazy high.
Always higher than yours, and it has to be able to keep that salesman going, keep that call center going, keep all of those things going. So I feel like if you have a mixture of two, that's like the secret sauce to be able to scale it
Yeah,
as well as brand it. Because once you brand it, you have the networking. So, networking with you, you're like a master networker that came out of nowhere. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
Like people use you all over. Your name comes up time and time again. Those big companies, you'll hear them.
But
You know,
you know why, Sam? It's because like meet somebody like you. I treat you good. You
yep,
treat me good. I show up time and time again, and then somebody asks you in the beginning, you might not recommend me, but
sure,
I showed you consistently over time.
absolutely.
Hey, this kid's gonna show up. No matter where I send him, if it's a low end job, a high end job,
Oh yeah,
he
you're
treats
not picking
people
and
the
choosing.
same.
Oh yeah,
He does it all. He don't care. So now when somebody calls you, hey man, who you got for HVAC? Hey, call Paul.
yeah, that's it.
You know
That's it.
that
Absolutely.
and that's how it is.
Yep.
But don't get me wrong, I spend money on advertising. I
Yeah,
mean,
you
I,
got him. You
I
got him.
probably spend, I don't know, 12, 13,000 a month on like SEO, Google ads, little magazines that I'm in, things like that.
Sure.
And that's not including like wrapping the trucks
Yep.
and all the other little crap that goes into it. But I don't the numbers that I do yearly, I spend way less than like what a lot of other companies are spending that are doing the same numbers
Oh
as
yeah.
me.
So I can tell you, like Anderson Renewal Windows,
Yeah.
they spend up to 30% of what they make.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So they're gross. A lot of companies do the between 12 and 17%.
I'm nowhere near that.
And I didn't realize that the people actually do that until this year.
Yeah, I
Like
know
I've been
they.
studying for 3 years. I'm like, there's no way. Then I'm talking, 10,000. I thought was crazy, 12,000, 30,000. Now I see people do $1 million a month.
Yeah,
And I realize, that's what they do. But they're one hit wonders. But I feel like if you're right in the middle there, right where you're at, maybe a little bit above, maybe 20 grand, 30 grand,
yeah.
that's like the secret.
So
Start at 10, 12, and work your way up.
yeah,
But again, it's also knowing your numbers. So having the ROI, return on investment, return on ad spend, have all those numbers integrated in.
yeah,
This way, okay, look, this brought me back 12%. This brought me back 70%. This brought me back 8%. Now you know where you're at.
yeah,
Because having those different avenues, you make a little money here, a little money there, a little money there, referral here, it all adds up to that big number at the end of the year, which again, that revenue is vanity and profit sanity. So you want to make sure that you're making that money. I made $100 million this year, but if I did 100 million in revenue, but I only made $1 million, you're working way too hard for
yeah,
no money.
yeah.
And
I
a lot
learned
of these
that.
companies I see, I
Yeah.
seen a roofing company just go upside down. They were doing 120 million a year, so literally just flipped over, and now they're out of business.
That's wow.
So all because just wasn't keeping an eye on the numbers, kept on pumping the marketing dollars. Everyone's getting paid. Some of those roofers start canceling. Now you got money out to the salesman.
Yeah,
in a draw.
Sometimes I'm like, shit, I gotta stop the advertising because I can't even fucking keep up.
Yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
know,
Well,
and
that means your jobs are too cheap.
yeah. Well, and listen, I've recently raised the prices, and of course, just going over overhead and everything. I'm like, hey, the margins aren't really where they're supposed to be. I didn't just raise them because, oh, we're too busy, so let me raise them. But I've raised them. I'm still closing the same amount of jobs.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, all
Well,
right,
again, you got the backing, you got the branding. You've been doing it for a long time, especially a referral.
yeah,
People definitely trust in you
yeah.
versus going somewhere else.
Well, I
Eh,
mean, we're local family ran company. A lot
Yeah.
of these companies sell out to private equity,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of homeowners caught on to that.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with private equity. Listen, hey, maybe in 20 years I sell out to private equity, but
Oh yeah.
that's not honestly something that I think about. I'd like to keep it in the family.
Oh, I know you do.
I have two sons
Yep.
and a nephew and things like that. So ideally, I would love for them to take it over.
Oh
But
yeah.
if that never happened, then I'd consider selling it. But my main thing now is we're a local family-ran company, and I intend to keep it that way.
Definitely. And then branding, I feel like you're like a master brander. You know what I mean? You got the hat, you got the shirt, you got the chain. Your
Yeah, the
son has the
chains. I don't
chain.
have the chains here.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
chain. I saw it the other day, and
I gotta bring them next time.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You
no, I put it on everything. I mean, that's my name.
sure,
I wear it. It means everything to me. I
absolutely.
come from nothing. Both my parents worked full-time jobs. My dad worked literally 80, 90 hours a week. I'd see my dad sometimes
Did he
on
have his own
Sundays.
business or?
Nah, he
Gotcha.
so my dad's side of the family, they did printing.
Wow.
So they did
Okay.
they did printing in Philadelphia, and then they sold it. My dad went to work for this guy Carl Zweigel, real nice guy. Carl actually come from nothing. His parents were immigrants. He lived in Philadelphia. He started out as a delivery boy for George H. Buchanan Printing Company, and he became the owner and was very successful. And I learned a lot from that guy. He was a motherfucker,
Yeah.
bro.
Tough to deal
I
with.
worked with him when I was a kid, and I
Yeah.
was around. Oh my god, cutthroat. But like, if he liked you, he loved my dad.
Yeah.
Loved my dad. My dad worked his balls off. My dad's the type of guy he don't call out.
Sure.
Got to be fucking dying for him to call out.
Absolutely.
But anyway, like I was saying, I come from nothing, so my business is everything. It's my baby. I built it from nothing. My son was friggin' 8 months old when I went on my own because I was
Wow.
partners with my uncle prior to that. But my son was 8 months old. I never forget. I was living in an apartment. Uh, me and my wife, and we just had the baby. I had like $7,000 saved, and I was like, I gotta start my own business. I was like, I can't do this. I gotta break away from my uncle and start my own thing. And even my dad, he was like, "You sure you want to do that? Like, you got a kid?" And I was like, "What's the worst that happens?
That's right.
I go back to making what I was making,
Love that. Yeah.
you know?"
You took the jump. You took the
Yeah,
chance.
but it's a lot because it sounds all fun and dandy, but when that money ain't coming in, it's not coming in,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and
You got to be a certain person to be able to take the day to day
yeah, and
of a
with
business.
this business, you can't just open it. You got to have that state license,
Oh
which
yeah.
is not easy to get.
No.
So you got to have that, and that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I switched from landscaping to
A little more
HVAC.
specialized. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely specialized.
Hmm.
Like plumbing, electrical, and HVAC, you need that state license.
That's right.
And without it, you
Yep.
ain't getting too far. They're gonna end up coming down on you, suing you. You might find somebody to stand for you. That's only happening for so long. God
Sure.
forbid somebody finds out, then you're getting
Right.
screwed.
Oh yeah.
So there's a
Definitely.
lot that goes with it.
Oh yeah. So let's talk about your family life. I mean, you got the kids. They're growing
Yeah,
up, great kids.
yeah.
You want them to be in the business?
I would love for them to be in a business.
Yeah.
I would love for them to be in a business. That's what I would love to see one day. My nieces, my nephews, my sons, I want to see them in the business. I want to grow it. I want to grow it big, but I want to grow it big if they want to be involved.
Right.
If they don't want to be involved, I don't want to grow it big.
Sure.
You
Sure.
know,
Oh yeah.
I don't
Absolutely
I
agree.
don't aspire to be Jeff Bezos, man. I'm happy
Yeah.
being Paul Darry.
Absolutely. That's good. That's
you know,
good. So, what other things, advice you can give some of these young guys coming up?
I just, no matter what business, because like I said, I'm an entrepreneur before anything. I had the landscaping company, and
Yeah.
even if I wasn't doing HVAC, I would own something else. I owned a pizzeria. I had that
Oh, you
first.
did own a
Yeah, I did
pizzeria.
own a
Ah, I was only
pizzeria.
kidding about that.
No, I owned one, but
Yeah.
that's another story. I did that just to prove a point.
Yeah.
But I bought that and sold it, double my money real quick, like 6 months. But
That's
whatever.
great.
And that was why I had the HVAC company. I threw one of my cousins in there who was from Italy, and he was running it, and we built it up real quick and sold it. But no, for any young entrepreneur that wants to start a business, it's you got to be consistent. You got to answer the phone, and you got to do what's right.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, your customer is the boss. So if your customer's not happy and comes at you, you can't just attack them back.
Correct.
You need to kind of, how do I make this right?
Sure.
There's times even when I have a customer that's upset, they're wrong, but I still bite the bullet and do what they want.
Right.
So now they're happy.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's not worth one person being mad and over something stupid and telling 10 people. You might as well, I see it all the time. A contractor wants to argue with a client over a $200 thing that they're mad about. Dude, just fix it.
Yeah.
Eat the $200.
That's it.
Eat the
That's it.
$200.
Mhm.
Make your client happy. Go on about your day.
Exactly.
This client's going to tell 5 more people, and you're going to
100%.
make 20 more $1,000.
People don't get that part of it.
They're
That's an
they're
important part.
dumb.
People miss that all the time.
People are like, "Oh, I'm not wrong. You're wrong, dude. Shut up.
Exactly.
Take the loss.
Yep.
Move on.
Yeah.
You happy? Yes. Okay, that's all I care about. I tell my clients that all the time.
That's great. Oh yeah.
I've lost money on a job just to make a client happy.
Sure. Oh yeah, it's important. That'll keep your business going.
Yeah, believe me.
Definitely. Definitely. All right. Well, PJ, where can people find you in your business?
Google, just Darian Son. I'm all over. Probably see the trucks, blue and red. Instagram, Facebook, we're everywhere.
Oh yeah. All right, brother. I appreciate having you.
Thanks for having me,
You
bro.
got it.